as I like to say. I'd like to talk about a couple of things about 2025, and won't be before you long. So, a few minutes of your time. Really do appreciate you tuning in. And speaking of tuning in, the Denasha Harrison Show is on Intellectual Radio. Not only is it my show on this platform, but there are other beautiful shows on this platform. Please get engaged. If you didn't take a lot of time to do that last year in 2024, take a look at 2025. Take a look at your schedule. Take a look at what you're able to do, whether it's donating your time or donating your funds. Take a look at what this platform has to offer. Wonderful platform, wonderful shows. So, big up to everybody on the intellectualradio.com platform. I like to give a special shout out to not only a realtor, but a broker as well by the name of Jillian Owens. Jillian Owens, real estate broker, and the Inner Circle Real Estate Group in Chicago. She's doing wonderful things for families, y'all. So, Jillian Owens, if you're looking for a house, if you're looking for support when it comes to real estate, uh, give her a shout out. She's actually on this platform Saturdays, I believe at 11 o'clock on Saturdays. But check her show out. A lot of good information. If you already own a house, but you have some questions about your mortgage, you got some questions about um, equity. How do you get that equity out of your house? If you want to know some ins and outs about property, go ahead and hit her up or just listen to her show on Saturdays here on Intellectual Radio as well. She's also on Facebook. I believe it's Jillian Owens. Check her out. So I appreciate her support, her knowledge concerning properties and things of that nature. And I'm glad that she's contributing what she's contributing to the show. So that's just one example of the many families that you can find here on Intellectual Radio. Go to intellectualradio.com, hit that subscribe button, check out the shows and go from there. So for me, 224-800-9719, if you want to give a shout out to me to talk about whatever is on your mind concerning the show. So 2025, what are we looking towards for the Denasha Harrison show on this platform? More of the same. I didn't get a lot of feedback in the negative as far as what did or did not work. There's always room for improvement. I'm looking forward to getting Tony Hoover back on the show to talk more about the projects that he's working on, um, but mostly bringing awareness to um, the incarceration of his father, Larry Hoover. So it was a wonderful show. We ended with a wonderful show, and I'm looking forward to again getting him back on the show so we could talk about the growth and development movement that's going on not only in Chicago but uh, outside the Chicagoland area as well. So more of those, more attention to uh, women's health and men's health. I want to get real specific and get those professionals on here to talk about the how tos. How do you get engaged and ensure that your insurance is covering everything that it needs to cover concerning all your medical needs uh, and your family's medical needs as well. Unfortunately, some people feel that their grandbabies or that their young ones don't need um, the same type of medical coverage that they may have or that others may have. So I want to get more into the weeds about how to ensure that the Affordable Health Care Act is actually covering you and your family in a proper way, that you're electing the different types of things that can benefit you not only in the right now or in the case of an emergency, but can benefit you and your families in the long run. I want to talk a little bit more about um, insurance, not only insurance for your life, but insurance for your properties. There's a lot of people who own houses but don't have insurance on their houses. And that may be a stipulation when it comes to the mortgage that you have to have insurance, but you'd be amazed at how many people are trying to navigate how to actually afford insurance on top of mortgages concerning your house. And again, that's another thing that you can probably speak to Jillian Owens about. I know I'm putting her name out there. She's helped a lot of people, and she can help you too concerning that. So I want to talk a little bit more about that. I want to ensure that when I'm talking on Wednesdays from 8 to 9, and I believe that I'll be here Wednesdays from 8 to 9 for 2025 as well, that you're getting the quality shows that you deserve. that you're getting the information that you deserve. You're getting the facts that you deserve. And again, if there's any question about what the content means, or if you want to see different content on the show, I'm always open to suggestions. I'm always open to constructive criticism. I'm always open to you coming on the show, whether you call in or you come on to the show. I would love to hear your opinion, your ideas, your views about what you think about the show. I'd also like to hear about what you have going on in the community, and so we hope to get out into the community a little bit more than we did in 2024 as well. So those are some of the things that we have going on. Those are some of the things that we're looking at just getting into for 2025. So with that, a couple of things that's on my mind. And again, for next week's show, we're either going to have Tony Hoover come in, or we may have um, Cassandra Hobson Jordan come in and talk about how her campaign is going in Dalton for mayor. And speaking of that, we're still in the running for trustee. Myself, Denasha Harrison, trustee, Dalton, Illinois. I am still in the race, still running. There's two dates that I want you to focus on. February 25th, that's the primary for the mayoralship, and April 1st. Now, the way it's going to work in February, Jason House and Tiffany Henyard are going to run against each other in February, and whoever wins between the two of them will run against Cassandra Hobson Jordan in April. So please support the Rebuild in Dalton campaign. We are the Rebuild in Dalton Party. Please support us as we continue to move forward to get elected to affect change in a positive way in Dalton. And again, whether we win the seats or not, the party's not going anywhere. It's our goal to win the seats. It's my goal to become a trustee in Dalton so that I can effect change by overseeing and writing positive policy that can affect the people in a positive way concerning their taxes, concerning recycling dollars in the community, soliciting businesses to come in and partake in the community as far as putting roots down and transforming that landscape so that the dollars can stay in the community and that people are aware of what's going on with their hard earned money, what's going on with their tax dollars, what's going on in their community beyond what they've experienced already. People want to know what are the solid plans for development in a place like Dalton. Dalton is um, a very strategically placed village. Uh, it touches on a lot of other communities. It touches on the highways going in and out of that area. So, very good area to invest in. A very good area to pay attention to. Right now, the the median income is currently supporting that area, but again, we need businesses to come into Dalton so that those dollars can be recycled in that community. We don't want the dollars going out of the community. We need a better tax base, and tax based businesses is what we want to come into the community. So, haven't heard much about what the plans are for the other people that are running, and haven't heard much from the trustees that are running for those seats. But I can tell you that uh, I am running for the people of Dalton. I'm trying to navigate beyond all the smoke. There's a lot of smoke, a lot of noise, and my focus is the people. When you have a lot of smoke, when you got a lot of noise, um, after the smoke clears, after the noise quiets down, what do you have that's tangible? What policies are you going to push forward to ensure that the people of Dalton can feel safe in their communities and that they can feel comfortable doing business within their own community? We have the space and we have the will of the people. We need the will of the legislators to accompany that. And so I hope that if you live in Dalton, that you take a really close look at those that are running for trustee, take a really close look at those that are running for mayor, and make the choice that's better for Dalton. I believe that Cassandra Hobson Jordan is the better choice for mayor of Dalton, and I believe that I'm one of the better choices to run and represent the people as a trustee in Dalton, Illinois. So at the end of the day, it's your vote. At the end of the day, it's your choice, it's your decision. I only ask that you educate yourselves and that you take a look at the facts that are out there. Try not to listen to all the clickbait that you've heard. Um, I'm thankful that we're not in the middle of all the noise and all the smoke that's going on. But pay attention to the facts. Try not to get swept up in all the clickbait that's going on. Take a look at what people have actually done and what people have actually promised to do but never have done. Give those who understand what a life of service is about, give those people an opportunity to serve the people. I ask that you give me an opportunity to serve the people because, again, I know what service is all about. With my service to our country, with my service to my community outside of Dalton, before coming to Dalton, understanding what service is all about, give me that opportunity to represent you uh, in Dalton if you're standing for right. And if you're sitting on the sidelines or you're just curious, again, you need strong legislation in your community. Don't leave it up to anybody else to um, provide the answers for you um, concerning what's best for your community. So I encourage you to get involved in the process. Don't give up hope concerning the process. Uh, Again, take a look at the candidates, take a look at the facts, and exercise your right to vote. So if you're not registered to vote, it's very simple to do. If you have questions about where you need to go to cast your vote in Dalton, if you go on the village website, they have a lot of information for you on where you can go to cast your vote. The township website uh, for Thornton Township has a lot of information available for you as well concerning where you can go to cast your vote, not only for the trustees and the mayoralship for Dalton, but the township has information about the processes as well. So educate yourselves, become a part of the process. You got questions for me? I'm always open. I'm always willing to answer any questions that you have about my motives or my experience. Um, Questions about why. Again, it's about service. So I was always told to become a part of the solution. Um, don't complain about problems that you're not willing to assist in solving. Everybody doesn't have all the answers, but many of us have some answers. And at the end of the day, we can all come together and move forward. We're not going to always agree with one another, but just because I don't agree with you or you don't agree with me, that doesn't mean that we're wrong. That means that there's just a different way on how you get things done. So again, pay attention to what's going on in Dalton. Pay attention to what's going on in Thornton Township. If you're not a resident of Dalton, or if you are not a resident of Thornton Township, that's okay. Still pay attention, and we would love for you to join our Rebuild in Dalton campaign. We have signs to put up, signs to put in yards, literature that we need to get out to the people. We have a couple of events coming up. One event that's coming up is for February 1st. There's a fundraiser for February 1st. Again, 224-800-9719. I can give you the information on that as well. We're selling tickets for an event, fundraiser. Come on out. There's entertainment. We're going to have a really good time. So, with that being said, concerning politics, a lot of people are still salty about the presidential election. Hey, um, I get it. I understand. At the end of the day, Donald Trump won. He didn't win by a landslide. He didn't win because there were so many more people that voted for him this time than last time. He won because a lot of people decided to stay home and not be a part of the process. Now, I'm hearing more and more about people who are more concerned now because they're seeing that the Project 2025 situation and the reality about what this incoming president might do, that information and that 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 reality's finally setting into some people. At the end of the day, um, he's going to be the president in 2025, um, and a lot of people asked for him to become president. Now, there's people who sat home and didn't participate, and I would put you in that group as well. If you sat home and didn't cast your vote, not casting your vote for Kamala Harris is a vote for Donald Trump. So if you're worried and concerned now, I would simply say continue to educate yourself about your rights, rules, regulations, laws. There's a lot of things that are predicted to be changing, but not for the better for most people. And if I'm wrong, that's a great thing because that means that um, what's been said about the incoming president, um, those things he will not deliver. And I'm hoping that's the case. But if he's going to deliver on some of his promises, then it's going to be painful for a lot of people. But you get what you get. So if you didn't vote, or if you voted for the incoming president, either way, he's the president, and he's going to be the president of the United States. And sometimes I look at the United States like that family member, that family member that you just you got hope for. They might come around during the family reunion or Thanksgiving or Christmas, the holidays. They may come around. The addresses change from time to time. Sometimes they're in good shape, sometimes they're not, but they're still your family. When your family comes in, sometimes you might give that family member money, or you might try to set them up in a place to stay, set them up with a job, hoping that they're going to make something of themselves, hoping that they're going to do the right thing this time. And, that family member might have an addiction. That family member might go against the grain of the things that are good for them. And although other family members have interventions with them, other family members may talk to them, maybe it's substance abuse or depression, or just not being able to kind of make it over that hump. The family members love on you. The family members are hoping that you turn things around. They give their resources, they give their time, they give their prayers to this family member. But at the end of the day, the family member just don't want to do right. At the end of the day, the family member is going to do things contrary to what's good for them and what's good for the family. Well, you can't disown that family member. That family member is still your family. So at the end of the day, even though that family member doesn't make the right choices for themselves or the rest of the family, that's still your family. So what are you going to do? And that's what I feel about America sometimes. America makes really bad choices uh, against the best interests of themselves and others in this country. They make bad choices. This is still my country. What do you do? Another scenario is that child that you have hope for. Sometimes America's like that child that that you had high hopes for. You see the potential in that child. You invested money into that child, and educational tools, different types of programs, different types of trips, hoping that that child would live up to their potential. At the end of the day, at some point, you have to accept that that child is who that child is. And at the end of the day, that's still your child. So although that child can be disappointing at times, you put all your hope into that child. At some point, you got to accept the fact that that child is who they are. She's who she is, or he's who he is. And at the end of the day, that's your blood. Very disappointing, but that's your child. And I look at America like that as well. Um, there's times where there's hope, and you want to invest and believe in the potential becoming a reality. But at the end of the day, and this is a prime example, 2025, the election of President Donald Trump to be the next president of the United States. At the end of the day, the country has spoken. The majority of the country has spoken. Um, those that got up and voted anyway. And so he's our president. So you get what you get. And as disappointing as it may be, this is still your country. So I would encourage you to continue to participate in those things which are best for you and your household. Continue to participate in those things that you know are well for you, healthy for you. This is not the time to cower or disappear or not get involved. Do not be discouraged when it comes to the process because, again, the political process took place. And the political process could have worked in the favor of those who wanted Kamala Harris to win. The political process takes the people. And because people didn't show up, you get what you get. So I just wanted to share that. That was on my mind. And I hope everybody had a wonderful uh, holiday season, Christmas, New Year's. I hope everybody made it through okay. A lot of people put a lot of emphasis on tangible things. And it's tradition. It's tradition to get those presents. It's tradition to want to do those nice things for family. But I think that the majority of people are now steering more towards the reason for gathering together as family. In unity, there's strength, especially when it's your blood and when everybody's firing on all cylinders as far as for one purpose, one goal, one reason. If you're coming together for family and you have the means to give those family members something, that's special. That's a beautiful thing. For those that are younger than us that are coming up, um, I encourage you to instill in them that it's not about all the gifts, but it's about the time, because time is something that you can never get back. It's about coming together to be with your family, to check on your family, to make sure that everybody's okay, to provide and do for your family if you have the means to do so. And that's not necessarily with money. It might be words of wisdom. It might be um, some things that you can recall to their remembrance, remembering better times when you had opportunities to sit with your family and learn from your family, grow from your family, grow with your family, pour into your family. So I would encourage you that for the next holidays that's coming up, we have MLK Day coming up. Jimmy Carter's President Jimmy Carter's day is coming up. It's going to be a holiday, a federal holiday for those who are going to observe his memorial day. Take that time to work on you yourself with others, you and you alone. Just take that time. It's 2025. Uh, some people look at it as an arc. They arced off of 2024. Maybe they hit a high point and they feel like 2025 is a low point, or maybe they hit a low point, feel like 2025 is a high point. Some people live their lives by arcs, you know, resolutions. I'm going to make sure that when I come in this gym, I'm gonna stay in this gym, 3 hours, 2 hours, and I'm gonna do this every day. So I'm right for the spring. I'm right for the summertime. Um, and that's what I call living your life on the arc. And some people live their lives in circles. Some people have cyclic um, systems that they live by. I I would like to think that um, I'm a proponent of living the latter. I would like to live my life as if it's on a cyclic system, a circle. I don't want to keep arcing up and down um, because you have gains and losses. Of course, you're going to have natural gains and losses, but your mindset should be that circle type of attitude. You don't want to wait until January 1st to start hitting the gym, or you don't want to, we call them resolutions, New Year's resolutions. You want to be careful with that because if you set out to have a New Year's resolution and something interrupts that, then where are you in your thinking? Where are you in that process? What happens when you set out to, January 1st, you're going to hit the gym, and January 1st comes and goes, and you're sick, or you couldn't, you just couldn't make it out to the gym. Okay, January 2nd, and now you're on this slide. You're not well enough to go to the gym January 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th, or 6th. So now what do you do? So instead of looking at things from a arc perspective, I encourage you to look at it from a cyclic perspective, or as if it was a circle. Always operate within that circle. Keep your mindset consistent about the things that you want to accomplish. Now, of course, it's natural to put things in front of you and accomplish them. That's okay. Those are those goals. You got to, you know, conquer that which is in front of you. But the mindset should be a consistent, cyclic type of mindset, because once you're on that circle of life, getting those things done in your life, as you're preparing yourself daily, constantly, whether it's your health, whether it's your mind. You might have a goal to read a certain amount of books, for 2025. um, Approach it in a way where you're going to stay consistent with it no matter what. you know while your body's going through certain things and dealing with certain things, make sure that your brain is pushing forward. Of course, you want the two to work in sync, but how many times have we promised that we were going to go to bed at 8, 9 o'clock, and then it's 11 o'clock, 11:30, 12 o'clock, and we got the clock set for 4 in the morning because we want to get up, do a jog, do a workout before going to work. How many times have we blown that for ourselves? So I'm pointing the finger at me when I say that. So uh, my goal and my latest practice has been to be more consistent and to not live my life on the arc, so to speak. So just want to share that with you as well. Just trying to share as much as I can. 2025, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be back in the studio a couple of Wednesdays ago. It was off time. And now, again, I'm really looking forward to kind of digging in and finding out what more um, can be offered with this type of platform. What more can be done? You can always do more. Someone said that, no matter how much more you have done, no matter how much more you plan to do this year, you can always do more. There's always something to do, there's always work to be done. And within that process, within that goal of trying to get that work done, we have to make sure that we're managing ourselves properly, that we're taking care of ourselves before we reach out to take care of others. A lot of us, unfortunately, have gotten into the mindset of martyrdom concerning ourselves, laying it all out on the line without a plan of how to replenish or revitalize ourselves so that we can continue to move forward. How many times have you found yourself in a position to where you have actually um, put everything out there, had nothing left for yourself, hoping that somebody was going to give you that type of return, but it never came, right? So we got to be careful not to continue to put ourselves in those type of positions. We have to take care of ourselves, manage ourselves, pace ourselves, be consistent with our goals so that we can go ahead and continue to give to others. There's many ways of giving. We can physically give, or we can have our life shine as lights concerning how we give and how we move forward. So, little piece of information that I want to share with everybody. Um, so just keep moving forward, keep pushing. If you do live your life on that arc and you are just really adamant about resolutions, then I'd like to offer you this. It's early in the month, it's early in the year. So today is what, the 8th. So we're 8 days in. So if there was something that you promised yourself 8 days ago, 9 days ago, and you feel like now you're behind already, man, this year is already turning into whatever, and it's not in the positive, then I would just encourage you that you're only 8 days in. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay to take a deep breath, take a step back, reevaluate what you need to reevaluate, take a hard look at things, Again, breathe. Don't forget to breathe, and just line things up for yourself. Right? Barely, barely through January. So there's something called vision boards. Participate in the vision board um, event. Get some of your people together, get a vision board together, and move forward. And for some reason, people think that vision boards are just for women. That's not the case. Vision boards are not just for women. Um, there's more to getting together and plotting your goals than a bunch of wine, great music, great food, and a whole lot of women doing what they're doing. Now, I must admit that the majority of times that I've heard about vision boards, the majority of people that have done vision boards in my past history has been a lot of women. But it's not just for women. So take a look at your thoughts. Take a look at how you want to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Take a look at what may be tangible, and take a look at those future goals, things that you may have to roll over from time to time, and put yourself a vision board together. Um, if you don't have anybody to do that with, it's okay. Be well with yourself, but move forward and get that vision board done and start accomplishing those goals. There's actually people that are out there that will assist you with your vision. There's a woman by the name of Tracy Harris who lives out there um, on the East Coast. Shout out to Tracy Harris. I'll have that information for you. She actually has a business that specializes in helping you get those tangibles done. We've all heard about life coaching. Um, and there's a culmination of different types of philosophies or strategies about how you would encourage people to move forward concerning the life coach process. But this business, um, to my understanding, it actually specializes in making sure that you get these goals set up and that these goals are actually tangible. There's methodologies about how you move forward to take care of those. So, those different goals or those different roles that you want to accomplish in your life, whether it be business, personal, a combination of the two, social. So again, Tracy Harris. I'll go ahead and give you that information the next time I'm on as well. So a lot of tidbits. I won't be before you long. I just wanted to share some things with you. I'm here. I'm well. I'm motivated. It was a long day, but in a good way. Sometimes we have these days where they're just so long and drawn out, and not full of much, especially when you're in the workforce. But that wasn't that type of day for me. The type of day I had was a long day, but it was a good day. Um, Full of tangibles. A lot of goals got accomplished today. Had a wonderful session at the gym today. Got it in, and I'm looking forward to, um, just getting that rhythm back. Getting that process back. Um, Making sure that I make every day count, depending on what my goals are, and I encourage you to do the same thing. Make every day count, no matter what your goals are. Make them count, and before you can do that, you have to actually set those goals up for yourself, right? So make those days count. I always say 10 toes down and 6 feet above ground. But think about that. Uh, your feet have hit the ground, and for the majority of you, you're still standing. You survived whatever you went through before um, that day. So we're in today still. So before today, you probably didn't think you can make it through. You probably didn't think that you would be able to survive. But 10 toes down, your feet are on the ground, and you're ready to do what needs to be done to move forward within the day. So make sure that you're processing correctly. And like I say, 6 feet above ground. For those of you who don't understand what that means, it means you're not dead yet. You're not dead and buried. that you're still on this side of things, and that you're still a recipient of this life, and that you still have the opportunity and the means to try to help balance things out, not only for yourself, but for others. So, you know, 10 toes down, 6 feet above ground. You're still here to make a difference in your life. You're still here to make a difference in other people's lives. So it's a wonderful thing. Make it wonderful. And of course, if you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. There are resources out there. A lot of people complain about, and when I say a lot of people, I speak about those naysayers, those negative people who don't want to find a lot of good in much. A lot of people um, will say that, hey, this is not available. These people don't care. The system doesn't care. But they don't do the research. There's actually programs out there that can help you get through a lot of things that you may be going through, whether it's financial assistance um, for your living situation. Food banks are available. Um, Counselors are available to get you through what you may need help getting through when it comes to your mental. A lot of us are afraid to take the first step. We might feel embarrassed, or we may feel that we're kind of behind the power curve, and might feel numb in that situation because we just don't know, and you just haven't been there before. But I want to encourage you, take that step. It's okay. Don't be afraid to get out there and find the answers. Don't be afraid to get out there and do as much as you can to be a help to yourself and a help to others. So don't let fear paralyze you when it's your mental health or physical health, or your family's mental health or physical health involved. Don't allow anything to stop you. Don't allow for that fear to paralyze you. Try to use that fear to help propel you, to help move you forward. Let go of those inhibitions. Let go of those isms, as I like to call them. A lot of people um, sometimes don't want to go outside of their comfort zones, and they might feel like people are looking at them, or that people are going to judge them. People are going to talk negative about them. But in 2025, let's not feel like we can afford that type of view on how other people may scrutinize us. We can't afford to waste any time thinking about what other people are going to think about us when we are trying to pursue answers to some of the questions that we have concerning our health, concerning our um, purpose, concerning our position. We cannot waste time thinking about what others think about us, because that's exactly what we're doing when we do that. And some people might not be, you might not be on those people radar. It might be a you situation. You may be in a position of developing so much anxiety to where you kind of what we call psych yourself out of the game. So make sure that you're focused on what you need, what your family members may need, people that you're responsible for. Focus on those needs and seek the answers to get the help um, that you would benefit from. Again, don't worry about what people are saying. Don't worry about how people are looking at you. Don't worry about how people are thinking about you, because you don't want to waste time trying to figure that out. Because while you're wasting time trying to figure that out, what you're doing is you're taking time away from the actual need. You're taking time away from the actual situation, the actual problem, the actual issue. And if you're taking time from that, that's going to turn into resources being taken away from that too. So, um, something to think about, right? Something to think about. So, again, just sharing a lot. I want you to ensure that the promises that you make yourself are the promises that you keep for yourself. Again, the promises that you make for yourself are the promises that you should keep for yourself. A lot of people in our lives have made promises, broken promises, made promises, broken promises, made promises, broken promises. And when that happens to us, obviously it affects us. And it's 2025, 8 days in. So let's change our thinking concerning that process. People have promised you something. You might not be the type of person to kind of, remind that person, hey, man, this is what you promised me. You need to deliver. If you got any type of markers from 2024 or made new markers in 2025, my recommendation, I wouldn't say advice. I'd say my recommendation is that you cash those markers in, that you call people on what they promised you that they would do, because they may have forgotten, or they might be the type of people that are just simply waiting for you to say something. Whatever that situation is, cash your markers in. If somebody promised you something or somebody owes you something, hey, move forward, try to get that book closed, because what that will do for you is that will give you the assurance that this is something that you can wrap up and close the door on. The results might not be in your favor, or they might be in your favor. That person might deliver, but whether they deliver or they don't, that's one of the benefits of cashing your markers in. But if they don't deliver the way that you want them to deliver, at least you know a category that you can put those people in. At least you know where you can where you can focus your attention on, where you can focus your time on. So it's very important that you cash those markers in. And when you do that, make sure that the promises that you make for yourself are the promises that you keep for yourself. Um, be reasonable with expectations of yourself, right? Be reasonable about those things that you maybe struggle with in the past, things that you um, have been successful with in the past, and take a look at um, making those promises and accomplishing the goals to keep those promises for yourself. Because when you do that, then what you do is you take the opportunity of others off of the table to possibly put you in a situation that's not a good situation for you. So, something to think about as well when it comes to promising yourself things that you can deliver on. So, with that, what I'm going to do is take a quick musical break. And when I come back, we're actually going to wrap up the show. So you're listening to the Denasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio. Again, I'm glad that you joined us. We're going to take a quick musical break, and we'll be right back right after this.
You ain't got enough money to buy my soul. Ain't strong enough to stop me. I'm out of control. This the matrix, I'm Neo. I know that I know. I am that I am. That's why I speak so bold. On the verge of losing hope, I know where to go. Switch my style from singing vocals to magical flows. Study the streets a little closer. One with the ghetto. Got wise as I got older. Unloaded the metal. New millennium rebel. After that federal dollar. Balance the world on my shoulders. I know my soldiers are following me at war. Cause kids still dying in the streets at war. On the block running from the police at war. In the US, this ain't the Middle East at war. With the problems in my own community and the sword. If the only way to fight an enemy, Lord, save my father from this bottom of Hennessy. With more can I give? I'm giving all of me. And for real, it's only getting hotter for me. Harder to see and harder to breathe. And
thank you again for joining me on the Denasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio. I appreciate you joining me. What I'm going to do is reiterate some of the things that I talked about, and then after that, wrap. So again, thank you for joining me. You've been listening to the Denasha Harrison Show. It's 2025. I had some things on my mind that I wanted to talk about, some things that I wanted to share with you. So thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share those with you. And I'll see you next Wednesday from 8 to 9. If the levee don't break and the creek don't rise, I'll see you here on the Denasha Harrison Show. So thank you for joining me. Talk to you soon.
So many messages, got the real trip. They push prison at the young niggas. That's why we have a trick.